Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. For those who do not know, my name is Ashley and I am a strict Btmm trader. Okay, so I wanted to point out some things that I think a lot of people should be aware of when it comes to trading Btmm. Okay, the first thing, it's no point in asking people how long did it take you to master the strategy or learn the strategy, because each of our learning curves are different. It's all about the energy that you put into learning and studying the strategy to be able to master it. Okay, it could take me 3 months, it could take you 6 months, it could take you a month, it could take you a year. It's up to you on how long it takes to master the strategy. One, you have to make sure whatever materials are available to you to watch, you rewatch them. Take notes and continue to rewatch it until you fully understand it and remember it, okay? Two, you have to make sure you're doing the homework, okay? Homework is basically you going back into the charts, looking for the things that are pointed out to you for you to research and study to see that it actually works. And it's amazing to me how many people are like, oh, BTM doesn't work, BTMM doesn't work. And I'm like, dude, it still works to the same day. Just fine. Just fine if you ask me. But, you know, I watch material, whether it's long or short, and I do my homework, whether it takes me all day and night. You know, so your journey is basically determined by the amount of work you put in, okay? My journey, I'm not going to sit here and say it took me a very long time. It did not, because I became real focused and locked in, and I did what I needed to do. One thing that I did was at first, you know, the first 4-day course, I didn't trade like I was asked. And then, you know, as I started my mentorship, I guess you could say, I didn't trade at all. And the thing about that is I was learning so much, and I was rewatching things that were of the past that I hadn't seen in the present. So that was my extra time watching, and then I was doing the homework. And by all means, when I tell you, if you learn the strategy and study it like you're supposed to, the money will come. And trust me when I say the money will come. So, you know, so many people are like, I need this to work right now. I need this to work right now. Okay, I ask you this. What were you doing yesterday from today that's so different? Are you still going to the same job? Are you still going to the same school? Okay, yeah. So being that the circumstances are still the same, why do you need this to work right now? So many people want it to work right now because they want to get rich right now and so many things right now. And it's like, trust me, with that type of attitude, you'll blow demo accounts left and right because you're not thinking properly and you're not learning the material and remembering it to where you can repeat it and regurgitate it. You're just like, I see this on Instagram. I see this on the internet. I need this to work right now, you know, and it will. Trust me, if you take the time to learn it and learn it fully and dedicate the time to learning only, it will definitely work. You will make a lot of money. Okay. Second, what I wanted to point out is BTMM is strictly a behavior strategy. I cannot stress that enough. Okay. Pattern is a part of behavior, but it's a behavior strategy. Okay. Now I want to quote the GOAT. He said, when you basically, actually, let me find the exact quote to read it. So word for word. Okay. So once you understand the market and how it's structured, there are only 4 trades that you should be looking for. Stop hunt high information, stop hunt low information, straight away rise, straight away drop. And that came from the GOAT himself. So a lot of people ask me, oh, what's your signature trade? Okay, when learning, it was safety. Okay, but as of today, I don't have a signature trade. I trade strictly M's and W's. Everything to me is an anchor and in between. That's how I trade. I don't see, no longer do I see 50-50 bounces, you know, afternoon delights. I no longer see 12s and 22s and all that good stuff and M&W's off the mail. Everything to me is an anchor to the upside and an anchor to the downside, whether it's a stop hunt high, stop hunt drop, or a straightaway. Or that's how I see the market. And by all means, with a stop hunt, a visible stop hunt is only something that applies to the 15-minute chart, which is above or below the Asian range. Stop hunts in general is just simply an M or a W. It's something that's trading against something with a lot of chart volume, and it's reversing, or it's saying, no, we don't want to go back into that area. So we're going to stop hunt towards the incorrect direction, and then we're going to move. Our stop hunt is that M getting you trapped up. Our stop hunt is that W getting trapped up on higher time frames. But when you're looking at the 15-minute chart, it's literally just the Asian range box, okay? Third thing, I have so many people asking, oh, can I have your template? Can I have your template? Listen, there's things that I have that I actually paid for that I won't be sharing because I paid for that, okay? So no, I cannot share with you my template. Now I can share with you what I use, okay? And what I use that I feel like it's worthwhile that I literally use the daily highs and lows. I use the weekly highs and lows, the monthly highs and lows, and if I can find a yearly high and low, I will use that as well. I use the ADR tracer, and I use the pivots grid tracers, and then I use the quarter points. And then of course I have TDI on my chart. And as far as EMAs, I keep the 5 EMA on my chart. I use the 13, the 50, the 200, the 800, the 3200, and the 4800. This is and I add a day open price tracer and a weekly open price. These are strictly the only things I use. And then of course TDI is there. Okay. I don't use anything else. I don't use the dashboard. I don't use, arrows or whatever. All those things are there to help you in their training wheels while you're learning. But when you get to understand what's going on, you don't really need, you literally will use just price action. And of course, with price action, the highs and lows are the most important support and resistance out there. But the EMAs are very, very, very high key reactionary areas. That's why I keep those on there. But that's all I use. Okay. I will go over the setup of the template of what's the most important, so you guys can have that, because really the most important indicator, like I said, will be the highs and lows. So I have to show you how to adjust your work time indicator to drag out the Asian high and low and midline throughout all sessions, because that is the main highs and lows you're looking to break for the day. Okay, so with that being said, we'll go over that. And then another thing I wanted to point out to you guys, my videos are really for those who put in the work. Okay, so that means you've most likely seen an actual 4-day course or 5-day course. You've probably seen like a DMR series. You've probably seen a boot camp. Even if you just seen a 4-day course, that's fine. But it's not really geared towards people who saw a crash course taught by someone else. Okay, if you did, that's fine. These still will help you, but it might not make as much sense because you've only seen so much education. Okay, so with that being said, 3 times ADR does not mean a reversal. Okay, it doesn't mean trend change. It could literally reverse into a reset. Okay, resets are very, very easy to spot if you know market behavior. Okay, we're not going to sit here and say, oh, resets are hard to spot. No, they're not. If you know what you're doing, they're very easy to spot. So I give you hope with that. Levels are not subjective. I don't know where you guys keep getting this from. Levels are not whatever we the people say they are. Levels are what they are. Okay, they're not subjective. Okay, don't go around and say, oh, levels are subjective because you don't understand them, or because someone who was teaching you a course didn't understand them. So they're like, yeah, levels are whatever you want them to be. Now, I kid you not. You can trade this strategy without knowing levels. Okay, it's possible, but they are very, very important. Okay, levels is a part of behavior. The count is a part of levels, which is a major part of behavior. Okay, so you do need to take time to learn that. So if you need to view my videos on levels several times until you get that and take notes, that's what you need to do. But they are very, very, very important. When I say my stop outs are literally me making my stop loss too tight because I'm going to bed or I'm leaving the house and I'm not going to watch my charts, I literally get stopped out. And my stop loss is 7 pips. I don't even do 13. I don't even do 15. It's 7 pips. Okay. I'm not getting stopped out on direction. When I have my personal discussions with students who are also someone who went and decided to be directly mentored with Steve, the before and afters are on point. Okay. Because I learned how to study behavior. So you will learn that too. If you continue to push and learn and take notes, rewatch and study, you will also get there one day. Don't think that you won't, because you will. It's possible. Just don't give up. I didn't give up. Okay. If you want to sit here and say, I need this to work now, I need this to work now, well, do the work like you need this to work now. Okay. I studied this like a job because I want to, no, not a job, like a career, because I wanted it to be my career. Okay. That's why I don't have any interest in teaching, because I'm happy trading. That's what you want to be. You want to be happy trading. Okay. So with that being said, another tip, if you feel like the market is bearish, okay, and come London time, you were given a bullish setup, do not trade against it, even if you feel like the market is bearish, okay? We do not trade against the type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4 patterns out of London. We go with them. And of course, you factor out the most likely TP, okay? And then you get out and you look for your new entry to go the correct direction. If the market is bullish and you're giving a type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4 setup that's bearish come London open, take that bearish setup until the most likely TP, exit out, and get back in the correct direction. What I look for to enter a trade is exactly what I look for to get out of a trade if I want to go the opposite direction. It's not that hard, okay? It's not. So many people I look at them give back pips, and I'm just like, you just gave back 25 pips. I don't care if it was counter trend. You gave back 25 pips because you thought it was going to go to the moon, okay? Take those TPs and protect your equity, protect your profit. Take those TPs, okay? And if you need to, leave a runner on, close out and leave it down to a 0.01 lot size just to see what it does. If you just want to see what it does so bad, do that, okay? Now, every time you come to the charts, you should be looking for an anchor to the upside and anchor to the downside. That is the peak formation high and the peak formation low, okay? We're just going to call this the peak formation low for now. There's possible still more activity that needs to happen, but we're just going to put that there, okay? You always need to find that. The most recent peaks, I don't care if it was one peak given today and it's a new peak tomorrow, is what you trade away from, okay? You don't focus on the fact that, well, this was the peak before that. We are in a brand new peak, okay? We're in like, for example, here, this was a peak. This is a new peak. What if they decided to reset and go up? That's a new peak, but you're so stuck on this peak right here that you're missing the fact that a new peak was formed and you're going to get dragged the wrong way, okay? Now, like I said before, if you have not learned how to count, which was already in one of my videos, if you are entering a trade and you're moving intraday, you better check that 50 EMA. Is it pointing upward? Is it pointing downward? Is it pointing sideways? Okay. Are any other EMAs in the picture? Are we anchoring? These are the things you better check, because if you do not, I see so many people being hard-headed and they're like, what went wrong? What went wrong? Okay, first of all, take the knowledge that you know, go back and look at the trade that's already expired, mark up everything you see, and you'll figure out exactly what you did wrong. Most of you are counter trend trading, or you're getting in too early, or you didn't get in at the best entry, okay? I want to stress this to you. We sell the high of the day. We sell the Asian high. We buy the low of the day. We buy the Asian high. That's what we do. If you're getting in the middle, chances are it may come back and reverse on you, okay? So with that being said, if you're choosing to trade this area on down, that's fine. It's safe, that's completely fine. But if you are a peak trader, you are moving in this range, okay? This is a larger structure. That's the M with the W in the middle, M, okay? You are okay to take this right here. First of all, it's a railroad. So you will take this here down, get out. You can wait for this second leg to form, get back in and buy to that high, get out. Here, you will get back in for the sell and take it down. That's how you would pretty much move as a peak formation trader trading the peak, okay? You're not looking to go to the moon. You're looking for a setup to take you back towards these highs that it fails, and you trade the opposite direction. So with that being said, if you do not understand that you are in a peak, you don't recognize them, you don't know how to count levels, you don't recognize level 3 behavior activity, which I will go over soon, do not trade peak formations, because a lot of people will trade into, they'll start taking a peak that goes into a reset. And once again, resets are not hard to spot. And they'll say, oh, well, what trade am I looking for then? I can't answer that, because once again, I don't trade the setups. I don't want to say setups. I don't trade the trades. I trade setups. I look for an M and a W. That's what I do. So I can't tell you how to spot the resets without me teaching you that, because you have to go through the lesson and you'll be able to spot them. But for now, if you can't trade them, you should just stay out of them. Wait for the peak formation lock and then move on. Okay. But, thinking, oh, well, it's the three times 80 yards should reverse. Stop forcing reversals. Okay. If you see if you see that this, let's zoom down some. Okay. Let's zoom out. If you see that this 200 is strong, this 800 is strong, this 50 is strong, why are you counter trend trading? When it's weak, by all means, counter trend trade. But when it's strong like this, it's going to trade it. One of my colleagues, she says, wow, it hit that blue 100, it hit that 800 and it snapped. It hit that 200, it snapped. Yeah, because those are really, really, really highly reactive areas. I just think of it as like radioactive volcanoes. They're extremely radioactive. Something's going to happen there. Okay. So, she was shocked. And I said, yeah, that's why those things are important. Okay. So those are some things that I wanted to point out. Once again, I don't mix in ICT. I've seen it, and I've taken what I've taken from it, which benefited me as a Btmm trader. But I don't look for ICT setups. I don't look for wick-off setups. I could care less about distribution and accumulation, and I could care less about supply and demand. And people ask me all the time, oh, well, what time frame do you get your analysis from? Top down. Don't ask me if I get it from the 15 in the hour. It's top down. Okay? It's top down. I can't stress that enough. Yours should be top down as well. Get that highest point marked off on the monthly, lowest point on the monthly, the weekly as well, and start to take your directional bias from the daily. I promise you, it can't steer you wrong. The daily, you are able to see technically resets as well. Let's point out something. Okay, I'm able to count the intraday levels on that as well. Okay, but when you're looking here, for example, that's a pullback. It's obvious. Okay, but when you're looking at let me find a bar. Inside bars are continuation trades, which can be a pullback or the reset depending on how deep it is. Okay, like for example here, this is an inside bar basically. All I did was pull back, pushed off. Resets are just that. I tell people all the time, it's a pullback, okay? Where determines if it's an anchor's pullback, something that's forming a new anchor in a trend, or if it's something that is in the middle of a peak formation, and it's like the apex or the nadir within the peak formation, okay? But you're able to see a lot. Look at this M on the daily. There's an M on the daily, but for some reason people feel like they got to take a W when this is strong. An M on the daily is strong. The weekly is stronger. The monthly is extremely strong, so the daily tells you a lot that you need to know. And for me, like I said, if this was a time, I would be interested in just this M right here in the segment of price action, okay, for the next few weeks, okay? That's what I would be looking at. So I've laid out a lot of things for you that are extremely helpful, that will help you trade. And so many people have been contacting me and they're like, you saved my trading, you saved my life. God bless you and thank you. And I'm so happy that it's helping you. But for those of you who want to be hard-headed, continue to be hard-headed and you'll continue to lose trades, okay? So we don't want to lose trades. I emphasize this enough. We are strictly behavior traders. Okay, if you've seen a 4-day or 5-day course from the GOAT himself, he is explaining to you behavior. Okay, if you've seen any of the other indicators, any of the other educators who speak about trades, they're taking what they look for in a setup. Okay, that doesn't mean you have to. That doesn't mean these are the hard, strict rules. It's the rules for them. We all should have our own rules, but it's the rules for them. So with that being said, I don't trade. I mean, I will, but I don't look to trade in between. I'm not waiting for an EMA to be on top of, price for me to know, or on bottom of price for me to say, okay, it's time for me to enter. I'm literally taking the high and low of the day. And it's crazy because I was just telling people, I'll enter a trade and it's like my broker will wait a few seconds and a lot of seconds to fill me, like, because I literally catch that high and low of the day. So they're like, oh, here she goes again. Let's make sure she don't enter yet. It sucks, but that's what you're looking to trade. Pattern is a part of behavior. Okay, that is a part of behavior. The cycle is a part of behavior. I need you to understand that. You're not trading EMAs. And when you're looking at the EMAs, look at the behavior of the EMAs. You're not trading TDI. You're trading the behavior of TDI. Okay, you're trading the behavior around quarter points, around pivot points. These are the things that you're trading, okay? So you need to be aware of that. That's what you're trading. Now, timing. I can't stress this enough. As a Btmm trader, we trade Sunday, we trade Monday, we trade Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday if you trade crypto. We trade every day of the week if the setup presents. We trade gap time. We trade the beginning of the session if the setup presents. We trade Asia if the setup presents. These are not no trade zones. They're just, for the most part, no trade, especially if you don't see a setup. We trade setups. So trust and believe me, as a previous student, when I say we trade all those times. Don't argue with me in my comments. No, we don't trade these. I'm telling you for a fact, we trade these days. Okay. Don't limit yourself thinking you don't trade those times and days and a setup is in your face and it's passing you by, because we do. We have our own way we trade the Asian session. Okay. So you're able to trade those days. Now, timing. Timing is also a part of behavior. Okay. Just like levels is a part of behavior. Timing, yes, gap time, London time, session close and open, all that. That is a part of time, okay? Timing means this: right pattern at the right time, okay? We do not want to take we don't want to take the right pattern at the wrong time. With that being said, if I am looking to sell, I want to take an M off yesterday's high. I don't want to take a W off of yesterday's low if it's not level 3 conditions, okay? I want to take an M off of yesterday's high. I want to take an M off the 50, an M off the 200, an M off the 3200. That's what I want to do. I want to take an M off a quarter point. I'm looking for reasons to sell, okay? If I'm looking for a reason to buy, I want a W off of the lows. I want a W off of the 50, a W off of the 200. This is what I am looking for as a trader, okay? That's trading the right time. Keep taking those right patterns at the wrong time. It will trip you up. It will. And you'll be sitting here like, I took a W off the low and I took a high off the low. I don't understand what happened. Well, what happened is you took a W off the low in Asian because that's the pattern that they give you. New York came, they reversed it, took out that high, or didn't even come back near that high, and they trapped and traded through the lows. They took the lows out. That's what they're doing. Or you took an M off of London's high. It came back down. It reversed, took out that high, and continued up. You got tripped up. So you have to start literally. It's amazing how many people ask me, are you a market maker? Are you a market maker? Or are you a market? I look at people like they're stupid and ridiculous. No, I'm not. I considered it to learn the game, but I learned the game from the GOAT, so it's kind of pointless. Like, I literally move when they move. And that's what I'm looking to do, and that's what you should be looking to do, okay? You are looking to get in when they're consolidating. You want to be in when they're consolidating before they make that shift, because a shift is gone. That's the best possible place to get in before they make that shift, which is the 513 cross, okay? So, once again, you can trade any time of the week, any session, as long as there's a setup, okay? As long as there is a setup, you are free to get in. looking for the right pattern at the right time. Think to yourself, we're in an uptrend. What will be the right patterns at the right time? What am I looking for? You do get tricky. You get trap head and shoulders. You get trap peak formation setups. You get those too, because they want to trick you. For the people that are going the right way, they want to scare you out. They want to trick you. Okay. So, we're going to go over this template because that was just a lot of what I wanted to point out before I start to break down the next things I wanted to break down to you. Just topic specific template. Okay. The most important thing I want to go over is the work time C or B indicator. I changed my number of days to 90 because as a market maker, we work in quarters. We work in threes. Okay. So 3 months, just like 3 days and 3 weeks. Okay. So 90 days. I turn on the Asian box. I turn on the midline. I change the midline hours to 14 because sometimes you do not get a type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4 pattern until New York. Just like sometimes you might get it in Asia. So I changed it to 14 to extend because what you're looking for is to break that initial high and initial low, which is Asia. Okay. My Asian session box. I cut off the last 2.5 hours of the box because a lot of people are like, oh, I can't take trades in the blue box. No, it's to the last 1/3 if you're just going to be technical. So take that off. Okay. A lot of times I'll see the first leg of the type 2 setup and that last 1/3. Okay. I turn on my London box. Okay. I'm in California. So for me, the colors of the boxes, that's just time to me mentally. I know what time it is without having to look at the phone or, I use Time Buddy to convert all my time zones. So the colors of the boxes, I just extend them to what they are just so I don't have any issues. Okay. So the Euro box, I turn that on, but I extend that to 3 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Convert that to whatever your time is, because what you're essentially trading, if you're trading the Asian range or the beginning of London, you're trading up until the stop hunt, and that's typically to about 3 in the morning when they come off that higher low. Okay, before they start to do what they need to do in New York. I turn that on. That's there. New York, I don't keep it to 12 PS. Eastern. I extend it to New York close. So for me, that's 2 p.m. For New York, that's 5. I extend it to close. Okay, and I do that for a reason. Sometimes the setup, the first leg will be in at the end of New York close, and the second leg will be at the open of Asia. Okay, so I keep that on as well. Brinks box, shadow box. I start the box 15 minutes before the times that we were given, and I have them closed 15 minutes after the times we were giving for both sessions, because sometimes the trade sets up early or late. Okay, so at least I have enough space to know, oh, I'm looking for a Brinks trade. Okay, now this is very, very important, especially if you want to stay away from the computer, or if you're doing other things throughout the day in the house, or if you have kids or something. And if you're new, alert, turn that on for these 3. Alert 25 above or below the blue box, 50 above or below the blue box. Turn on the stop hunt box. The stop hunt box, if you are moving in the correct direction, it will anchor to the stop hunt box. If it's a continuation trade, it's going to trade through the stop hunt box. Okay, so you are only looking for a stop hunt to the stop hunt box if it's an anchor to the correct direction. Okay, or an anchor period. If it's a continuation, it's not going to go there. You don't really have stop hunts with continuation. That's just with anchors. Okay, so you can turn these alerts on as well. Alert 50 EMA, alert 50 pips, alert 200 EMA, alert 200 pips, 800 EMA, and 800 pips. If you want to turn those on, you can. Zoop, okay, that's the harmonic indicator. I turn that on H4, H1, M30, M15. So I only want that visible in those times. And actually, for the work time, I just do it for the hour on down, okay? Because it doesn't make any sense for the 4 hour to have it. Make sure to have a weekly, you have your gap time indicator and T time. Make sure to have a weekly high and low indicator on there, a monthly high and low indicator on there as well. I love to use the daily candle because, as you can see, whatever is going on for the, if you're looking at the 15, the 4 hour or whatever, it's just, you see that one candle is telling you what this is. So that's a wick right there, and this is where the candle body is. Okay, so you get to see, this is the high of the day there. You get to see it all. Okay, so that's why I would use that, just to, without having to flip through the daily. That's your support, psychological support and resistance for the week. GMT offset, if you don't know what your broker setting is, you could throw that on there real quick to see their server time. I don't use it, but I just put it on here for you guys to find out what your broker server time is, because that's what your indicator should be set up to. Okay, now daily high and low, make sure you go into that and adjust it to your GMT. So if your GMT is 3, 3, 2, 2, you need to adjust that as well. Okay, quarter points, those will be adjusted. The faster moving pair it is, the more it'll be adjusted. But for currency, they're pretty much good as is. One other thing I use is the strike zone alerter. I love this thing. I don't trade with Btmm on TradingView because the liquidity providers, it's not the same as the broker I'm trading. So obviously it's better to use MT4 for the broker that you are trading. It's the exact, pippage. Okay, so with that, you pretty much just add a horizontal line to the chart. After you added the indicator, type in strike zone alert. This is where you want to enter, or up around. You type capital A, LERT _. If you want it to fire 5 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever before, just put the amount of pips. If you want it to fire exact, just leave it blank. And you would drag this down to the area you are looking at. And I'm going to put it there just so we can see it fire. But this is how you would kind of watch all your pairs without just sitting there and watching them. So you see the alert is triggered here. So it's 0 pips from the strike zone alert. So technically I will be entering there, or I'll be looking to enter. Okay, so that's the best indicator ever for watching my trades on MT4. Okay, if you use TradingView, I'm really only kind of using that for binary, if I'm doing binary. Okay, now last thing. Okay, once again, I don't trade with the dashboard, but if I didn't know what was going on, it's a good tool to have. I'm gonna just remove that for you just because I want you to see the problem that people have. So a lot of times they'll add this tool. Actually, let me do it like this. They'll add this tool and they're like, hey, I don't see anything in here. It's blank. Can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? First of all, as a trader, a serious trader, you need to do your due diligence and be real proactive about your stuff. Okay, try to figure it out first. Okay, so you see here, this is an area I don't want it, and it's not showing anything. Okay, remember, everything is set up like a graph. X is the left and the right, Y is the up and the down. So I'm just going to move this 1400, okay, and I'm going to place this at a 200 just so you can see it. Okay, let's see. I might have to delete it and redo it, but that's what you would do to move it left and right and up and down. Okay, so now let me hit refresh. It doesn't show me anything. What do I do? It doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. You were supposed to check your market watch symbols. Okay, they're there and they're there. Does it match what's in the indicator settings? No, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't, because that's the only reason why it doesn't work. You would go back and you adjust that. AUD USD hyphen whatever you want to come after, whatever pairs you're watching. Okay. Oh, it did move. Okay, so now look at everything. It wouldn't move like this. This will move with it. I don't know why I did that, but it'll probably because I removed everything when I loaded it. But you see everything populated, the 2 pairs that I want to look at. If you want to hide it, just click minimize and then it'll open back up. Okay. Oh, everything moved now. Okay, so you see how it moved to the right, it moved down some. Everything you need is there. It populated the pair. the days since the peak formation high or low was started, the ADR, the real-time ADR, the ADR pips, the stop hunt 25 or 50 pips above or below the blue box, the daily range, the RSI, and the TDI. Okay, you would also see that peak formation high there, and then you will also see the ADR of each level. Okay, you see that. So you can add it to each pair, or you can just add it to like a random pair and create a template and just add as many pairs you want and just check what's going on if you want to do like a daily check down. But that's how you will use it. So if it's not working for you, you would just go and adjust it. So I think it's a great tool for people if you want to use it. It's a lot of people who have this free dashboard that's going around trying to resell it as a one-time payment. Most dashboard creators offer a monthly subscription, so half the time that's how you would kind of know if you're dealing with a legitimate one or not. They're offering a monthly subscription. There's and I mean if they're a creator, I don't mean if they're like a quote-unquote, oh, I teach monthly, or you can use this indicator and pay me monthly to work on it. It's free. If it had that on there, it's free. Okay, so you'll just load it and go from there. All right. Oh, before I forget, okay, I wanted you to see this. Okay, all right. Okay, so we're just gonna say this is a daily candle and this is the Asian range. Okay, this is our accumulation, our open, right? Because we're on a bearish candle. We're moving left to right. We came, stopped, punted above the blue box. We hit a high. We rejected. We hit a 1, pull back 2, pull back 3, hit a low. We returned into the range. This is all you were trading, okay? This is all you were trading every day. You're trading a daily candle, okay? If the range opened and closed back around where it started, technically that's most likely a doji. It's a small candle, you know? So it's not quote unquote people are, oh, is that a reset? No, it's most likely consolidation. Okay. A bearish candle. We have our open, not bearish, bullish. We have our open and our close here. Okay. So this is the open and accumulation. What they did here is they stopped punted to the low, didn't take out that low, rejected 1, 2, 3 at that high, returned into the range. This is all you were looking for, okay? This is all you were looking to trade on a daily basis, is the daily candle, okay? The size of the daily candle determines how much pips you get in for the day. Pivots. This is the way you think of pivots. This is a M5 or M4. Rejection, M off that. 1, pull back 2, pull back 3 to M1 or M0, return within the range. We're going to say this is M1 or M2. Rejected. 1, pull back 2, pull back 3, and into the range. This is all you're doing, okay? I use pivots. I use the quarter points. I use those things for a reason because they're still grid-like, and they're still reactionary levels or reactionary areas of where there's trapped volume, previous trapped volume, and that's pretty much what you're looking for the most. Those are reactionary areas. Take this down because this is what you should be looking for. Trapped volume off of the 50, the 200, the 800, the 3200, and the 4800. Weekly open price, daily open price, monthly open price, yearly open price. The 00, 50, and 00 numbers, the quarter points basically. The yesterday's high and low, previous day high and low, last week's high and low, the monthly high and low, the yearly high and low, so basically the highs and the lows. The D1 or the daily, the H4 and the H1 trap zones are zone flips where you would be pretty much looking for the apexes and naders of the peak formations. The Asian range high, Asian range low, and midline, the away from peak areas and the peaks themselves. That's what you will be homeworking and looking for behavior around those key areas. As you can see here, 21 trade, it extended. I have the box extended through London here in New York. Okay, so that actually went in the direction it was supposed to, but sometimes, like for example here, You probably might have a setup straight out of New York or finish in London. I'm not London, Asia. So that's spread out so you can keep track of that Asian low or the Asian midline. But this is the Asian higher low. This is the initial highs and lows of the day that we're looking to be broken. Okay, so homework. Look to those areas and see what type of behaviors you see take place. Look for anchors. Okay, that's the most important thing you need to do is look for anchors. When you're looking at trades, look at the reason to get out the trade and as well as in the trade. So I can find the reason to get in the trade here, and I can find the reason to get out of the trade here. And honestly, sometimes for me, all it takes is 3 hits to an area and I'm in. Okay, it's not, oh, I'm looking for an EMA cross and this indicator to do this and this indicator to do that and all these different things. Like, the more rules you create to enter a trade, it'll make it hard for you to enter a good trade. Okay, indicators are there as training wheels. They're just there to help you. Eventually you'll take all those off your chart and you'll leave up what you like, but you're not trading indicators, you're trading price action, you're trading behavior, and the indicators are just there to help you learn behavior. So hopefully one day you can take them all off your chart like the GOAT hopes and says, you'll do, and you'll be able to move freely without all that. Okay, so I'm going to close with this. We will have a video focused on resets. We'll have a video focused on level 3 behavior, I guess you can say. We'll go into how can you count levels with the EMAs and, with the tracers and stuff. So we'll go into that. So make sure you have your notifications turned on. Like I said, make sure you're always taking notes and rewatching things as much as you need to. I'm so happy my videos have been helping a lot of you guys. And once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at AshshmoneyD. Happy New Year's and happy trading.